Welcome to this video wherein we solve an interesting case which can be asked for any management consulting or product management role candidatures. Well, for solving any case, you will be given a problem statement at first and you need to follow a defined framework. Okay, let's understand the problem statement in this case. The problem is your client is a drug lord from Mexico whose company is reporting a drop in profits in the last 2 years. He has hired you and you have no choice but to figure out why. How do you work it out? Now, in this case, you are expected to first ask preliminary questions. That is, the questions to clarify certain aspects of the case. So, first, you can start with the objective. The objective in this case is to reduce, to investigate reduction of profits. Now, in this case, what is our product? What is our business and revenue streams? Let's say the interviewer mentions that the only revenue stream is cocaine business, and that is the loss-making one. Now, you can ask exactly where, in the sense which geography is recording the decline in profits. Let's say the interviewer mentions that it is nothing but Asia. Asia continent is recording the decline in profits. Since when and by how much? Well, the interviewer mentions there's no information regarding this. And lastly, you can ask about the value chain. That is, where do we lie in the entire value chain, right from production, distribution to retail? He mentions that we manufacture cocaine in large quantities in Mexico, which is then shipped to various countries where the local drug cartels purchase the cocaine from us and sell it to the end consumers. All right. Now that you know certain basic information, you can then draw out an overall strategy in this case. The strategy could be to study the profit structure of the client and identify where is the decline in profits coming from, and then work out a strategy to fix the same. Now, in this case, it is important to do segmentation properly. How will you do segmentation? Profit is nothing but revenue minus costs. Revenue is nothing but volume into price of the product. Now, you already know the problem lies with the decline in profits due to low volume of products sold. So you can ask further that, of course, the low volume is coming in from the Asia geography, right? So the answer to this question lies in Asia. Then next issue would be whether it's a production issue, distribution issue, or retail issue. Under production issue, let's say we ask that whether we are utilizing 100% of our production capacity. That is, are we able to supply as much cocaine which is required? The interviewer answers that yes, we are supplying in relation to the demand for cocaine. So next we move on to the distribution issue. That is, are the distributors distributing to retailers? Well, the interviewer says no. So then we probe further that why is it that the distributors are not pushing our product? Maybe it's because of the monetary incentives issue. We are not rewarding them, or there could be non-monetary issue. Then the interviewer might say that despite there being a demand for cocaine by the local cartels, the distributors are not pushing in, maybe because the cocaine is going missing while shipping it. So then you understand that it's not the monetary issue, but it's the non monetary issue. Now, why do you think that the cocaine is going missing while shipping it? Well, high probability is that the cocaine is getting confiscated by the police. And why do you think that it could be happening? Well, either because the enforcement against drugs has become stricter in Asia or the security has slackened. Or it might be that both of these issues are playing out bad for us. So, then the interviewer mentions that in light of the stricter enforcement, the local cartels have been receiving the drugs through alternate, less risky routes, and our competitors have moved to other distributors. So, for example, if the route is from Mexico to Africa and to Asia, instead of that, they could go from upside Mexico to Canada to the North Africa to Asia, right? Now, since you know that the local cartels have been receiving the drugs through other routes, let's probe further and assume there could be four scenarios playing out. First is we can consider increasing security of our consignments around this route, or we can shift to an alternate trade route, or we can ramp up production to the extent that losses due to security lapses are made up for, or do nothing if in case the above three would lead to increase in the losses. And then you can ask the interviewer for each of the scenarios. For example, can we bring in our own security? Is it possible to pay off the cops to let go of our product? And the interviewer mentions that we will unable to do so. Then you can move on and say that we are going to have to settle with shifting our trade route. Now, I would like to understand how badly this affects our profits. Is it that shifting the trade route would only lead to increase in our losses because it will lead to increase in our costs? Then we should not go for this option. The interviewer might say shifting trade routes will increase our cost, but would be more than offset through the restoration of our sales volume, leading to better profits. Then you can conclude and recommend that we need to know which option between shifting routes and ramping production and existing route is more cost effective.